save his life. I mean the kind of gods that Mags talks about in humanities class, the ones who sat up on Mount Olympus. In a way, those gods were like normal people. They messed up constantly, and they drove each other bonkers, and sometimes they played wild pranks. But they also had powers that regular people didn't have, and they created chaos for everyone else. That's what Paulie was like. He messed up big time. Sometimes he played wicked funny tricks, and everything he did always led to chaos for the rest of us. The kid was legendary. I'm pretty sure that's the word. Paulie Fink was totally legendary.
Interview. Mr. Farabi.
Paulie Fink? Brilliant, that kid. Not that he was always a joy to have in class, mind you. But as the school's science and math teacher, I found it hard not to appreciate his, innovative thinking. I mean, the banana peel debacle, Mini-Geddon, his food wars with Principal Glebus. Wait, you haven't heard those stories? Ask your classmates. I think you'll see that every one of his stunts had a certain element of genius. I don't mean genius like Marie Curie or Neil deGrasse Tyson or Stephen Hawking. He wasn't like any sort of genius that's going to appear in your textbooks. Paulie Fink was more what you'd call an evil genius.
Interview. Fiona. There was something about his eyes. Even when he was in trouble, even when Ms. Glebus was wagging that craggy finger in his face, his eyes were always kind of sparkly, like he had a disco ball back there, twirling around inside his brain. And then he just up and disappeared. No warning, no goodbye. First day of 7th grade, Paulie just wasn't there. Poof! Gone. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya. And no offense, Caitlyn, but it's not like you were any sort of replacement. In fact, the first time I saw your eyes, I was all, now there's a girl who's never laughed. Not once in her entire stinking life. A day without Paulie. How it begins. If the whole thing really had been a TV show, like everyone kept pretending it was, there are a million places the first episode could have started. Like, maybe a good place to start would have been back in June, when I came home toward the end of 6th grade, and Mom greeted me with 3 fateful words. Caitlyn, we're moving. Not, would you like to? Or, what would you think if? Or, would you ever consider? Not a question at all. By the time she brought up the subject, she'd already accepted her new job as director of the Mitchell Urgent Care Center. Given notice at the hospital where she'd worked as a nurse practitioner since forever, and taken out a lease on a tiny house in Mitchell, Vermont. Which is to say, the middle of absolutely nowhere. But that's just one place where the show could start. There are other options, like on the drive here, when we passed the big green sign, "Welcome to the Green Mountain State." I saw nothing but trees and fields in all directions, and suddenly it hit me. This is really happening. I had to pretend to sleep just so I could press my face into a rumpled old sweatshirt against the window and cry without Mom noticing. By the time I opened my eyes again, we were passing an abandoned factory. The words, Oxthorpe Textiles, Mitchell, Vermont, still faintly visible on the bricks. Or maybe the show would begin the first time I pulled up in front of my new school. The sign said it was a school anyway. The Mitchell School, K through 7. But it sure didn't look like any school I'd ever seen. This place was more like a haunted mansion, a huge wooden house with broken shutters, peeling paint, and a tangle of weedy vines snaking up the exterior. Near the front door, there was a bell, like a miniature version of the Liberty Bell, with a sign that read, "The Good Day Bell. Ring if you had a good day." I remember thinking, the Good Day Bell? Stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's strange how hard it is to choose just one beginning for this show. There are so